instant briefing of the people. It helped to douse the issue. And again, when this guy left, deputy left, there was a radio program that came up with Mazi Nnamdi, where Reverend Norum and our woman leader, Mrs. Bridget Okafor, said everything concerning the way they tried to convince Uchemefo not to take the action he took, and everything that went on. They never heard anything. And immediately that video came out, that speech came out. I was in Nigeria at that time. Believe me, people like me, I became satisfied that Uchemefo erred, if all these things they said was correct, that he erred. And that helped to douse it. And not only that, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came up with ESN, the whole issue of Mefo was buried. That being said, now I'll go back to the question somebody asked regarding the situation in Nigeria right now.
Please, you have a minute.
Seeing the housemen coming back and all the church boys coming back, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before he was, abducted or was rendition. Why is it that up to today, there has never been even a solid, powerful statement?
Mazi, are you still there? You see why I tell you not to call this signal, because it is being disturbed by direct calls. That's it. Okay. Mazi Chinas, I don't know. The call is off. That's the reason. I don't know. I think he made a kind of. Do you understand anything to? I think he made a kind of comment.
Yes, Mazi, I understand him. I understand him very, very well, even though his line was cutting off. But I would say to this Mazi, Ben, is it Ben Okafor, right?
Yes, yes.
There was nothing like inaction. The time are different. You talk about the time, what happened with Chef Mefo, somebody came and clarified and said on air. That is things that happened, is that person's play. It's not even the US talk about it. What happened between the leadership and Uchemefo is far, far, far. What happened is beyond what many of you cannot see on the social media. This is a movement. There must be classified information. We talk about inaction. There is no inaction here. What happened to our leader was something like a shock to every member of the DOS. And I'm saying it, unless anybody have, when we heard the news, we called up, there was a meeting with someone, people, there were questions, there were, we did all we can to decode, to understand how these things happen. It was like a shock. The first move we have to make before we start coming to talk, what we don't know. What you hear the man came and talk was when the man with Uchemefo, those things happened like he got those things like a year or 7 months, 8 months before those things you saw outside came outside. Our first target was, since our leader is alive, brought down to Nigeria, he was not killed in Kenya, and the Nigerian DSS delivered a letter to the lawyer and asked him that his client was brought to court. What we did was we focus on what is in our hand. How do we hear from our leader? Because he's the only one who knows exactly what happened to him. And for the fact that he is still in the enemy's dungeon, we do not have to come and say things that might be contradicted when he comes up, because you will say what you know. It was not in action. A lot of things have been done on the ground. Remember, our leader is still in the enemy's hand. People, you're talking about 2015. 2015, when our leader was going to Nigeria, he announced, I am coming to Nigeria. And it was at the height of this struggle. He announced it on radio. People said he announced it. But this one, we didn't hear anything. Remember, none of us are living with our leader. We should not come here to lie for you what we don't know. You can blame us from today till tomorrow. We don't know. It's not in action. But what happened is this. The Nigerian government with their agents took it as, this is a war. We are in a war situation. The enemies are not sleeping. They dish up from a reliable source, from a top reliable source. IPOB were tipped off before this attack started, that they, as they are holding your leader, they are coming after you people. That they have dished up money to attack you people. They want to put you people in disarray and hijack the radio. So saying that it is, we are not people of inaction. You talk about, one thing is you talk about ESN. This, our brother Ben Okafor talking about ESN. Did you know how ESN was launched? Did you have pre-information when ESN was launched? Did you know how many months it took to prepare and launch ESN? Then you are talking about ESN, talking to some people in the DOS who knows, who prepared, who were part of it. Where was our leader? There were people who launched it. There were people who owned it. And you're talking to us like we are people on the street who don't know what is happening in the leadership. That is why I say most time you people are pushing the leadership to a very bad point, because you are talking to the DOS members, people who participate in the day-to-day activities of IPOB, both in legal, in finance. These are the people you are talking to. You are not talking to just an ordinary member on the street. ESN, none of you know what you people saw. ESN was launched. How was it launched? You don't know, but you are using it to make a reference. So, my brother, I will ask you people, I still see that doubt and that blame you people are putting. What we are asking you people is believe in this leadership. It's not good we come here to defend ourselves, what we can do. But I'm telling you that this leadership, the only difference you found in here is because we don't have that big structure where every morning everybody come to the office and you see this is the Ministry of Information. This is the Ministry of Finance. This is the Ministry of Legal Studies. This is only what you're not seeing. The IPOB rules. The structures are very strong. So saying it is inaction is not inaction. Because on a day-to-day basis, I am very sure that you, Mazi Okafor, you sleep when the time comes. Members of this DOS, I know many of them who don't sleep for 2 days. I am telling you, from one continent to another, who don't sleep. As night have come, you may go to bed. Members of the DOS don't go to bed. So coming every time, trying to twist the talk is action. No, it doesn't work like that. People are working round the clock to make sure this movement is going on. For example, people say Mazi Doziem, the HOD, he must be coming on air. He come once in a week. Other people say no, once in a week is not enough. He must come 3 times in a week. Other people say no, he wants to come every day on air. Another people say he didn't come on emergency. Come on, we have people on the radio who are being communicated on certain things. And if you think that the DOS is not doing their job, I think you are being misinformed. Master Biden, if you have something to add, then that is what I have for now. Thank you. Thank you, Mazi. You said it almost all. For about action, I've said it, I think, this night already, that we are not going to, communicate to Biafrans everything that we are doing. If we unveil our plans and our actions, the enemies are going to counter them. Until now, they should bear in mind that everything that has been done so far has been done by these DOS. So our leaders' absence doesn't make much difference as long as we can still remember what he told us, and then even getting fresh directive from him. So we want to assure Biafran that our leader is okay. Our leader is okay, and we are convinced that he's the one giving us information that we are acting upon, and they should have faith on the DOS. If you believe that you love our leader, you still have to transfer that love to the DOS because we are representing him. And so far, we haven't done anything that Biafran will look back and say, this is where we got wrong. Everything that happened so far happened by the will of Elohim, who is in charge of this struggle. So there is nothing like a lack of action. In 2015 was the first experience we had when our leader was abducted and incarcerated. Our people went out in the street to protest, and you can count how many of them were killed. We don't want to repeat the same thing. If people are waiting for us to repeat the same thing we did in 2015 and 16, that's not going to happen because we have learned from that. In this struggle, we learn as we go, learning by doing. So it will be very stupid of us to let history repeat itself while we are still awake and while we're still alive. We have learned from the mistake of the past. We don't want to sacrifice the lives of our people. That's what I said already before. We decided that our people should sit at home instead of going out to open protests and preventing them from being killed again. Doing that shows that we interests of our people at heart. And it would be wrong for somebody to come out and say that we're not taking any action, or we are not carrying people along, or we are not caring for our people. Everything we are doing is geared towards the restoration of Biafra and to alleviate our people at home of the injustice and the marginalization that are facing on a daily basis. We need to make sure that our people are free from all those problems, so that we can, have a decent life for ourselves in that part of the world. So the DOS is doing much, and we, as we said already, we are not going to be revealing everything, but if you listen very carefully, you will be hearing or seeing them happen. Our leader will come out and therefore will be restored. That remains our goal. It never changes. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I pick people that have been waiting for 20-something up to 30 minutes online, there's something also I want to hastily add. Some of all these doubts that are being, pronounced or showed by some of our people, some of all the doubts are being instigated by even paid agents, either by mere talking or through social media. There you see, many people, they go and listen. I say if you enter into some forums, you will hear Biafrans, you will just be there watching, listening to what people, is pure gossip, pure one. Paid agents full everywhere. In any type of thing, they want to bring a crack, and that crack, they want to make it to be a gullet. They want to bring distrust from the people to the DOS. That is one of the things that are sponsoring, making some people, have this type of mindset of distrust. But the issue is trust DOS as you trust Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and things will go on well. I have Mazi Bright Daniel on signal, please. We'll call on what's up. Thank you. Go on, Mazi. Please finish up. You were on before.
Thank you, Mazi. Yes. Bright Daniel. My question is directly to the DOS. The first question I have is this.
I listened to Channel Television. After listening to Channel Television, the interview that was granted to the retired Army General, and after explaining bit by bit, I listened over and over again. Now, here is my question. So, an average Biafran who is in Aba, in water, who is a welder, or a petit trader, or a tomato seller, or a hairdresser, who came back home and listened to this interview, this Sunrise Daily interview that was granted. I received a call yesterday, and somebody, 2 or 3 people were asking me, at this point, with what they have seen, because our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, told us these things, we did not understand it, or we did not believe it. Now, the man has openly said it, that the terrorists are in charge of the government, and they want to Islamize this nation, the zoo, Nigeria. They want to Islamize it. Now, these people are asking me this question. What do I suggest to them? Do I want them to remain here or run to Togo or Benin Republic? So my question to TOS is this. What message do you have? So these are our people. I am not talking about the intellectuals. I am not talking about the lecturers. I am talking about a common welder. I'm talking about a baba. I am talking about
the people, just the people. Just the people.
People, the grassroots people. What message do DOS have for these people? What are they going to do? Because they all rely on DOS right now on what to do. Because anybody who takes his hand and listens to this interview over and over again, I have listened to it 50 times. That man that granted that interview is not a Biafran. I think he's a Yoruba man, an Oduduwa man. He has said it, and he has told us what he passed through in the military. That's my first question. My second question is this, that the Fulani leader in Imo State, the Supreme Court governor, has come up to say that there is no seat at home. He has challenged even the previous seat at home when it was in view that was established, and before we shut it down. He has now come up to say that there is nothing like that, that he is in charge. My question is this. What do DOS have to do in reaction to that? My last question is on the news that came up about how Dave Umahi have sold a Bonny State for the amount of 6 billion naira. He has sold a Bonny State for 6 billion naira. And now, the information that we got is that Shehu Musa or Shehu Garoba, whatever they call him, came up and exposed him before the time that they planned for the news to come up. So Dave Umahi is trying to hide himself, to draw himself out of it. So the news is true that Dave Umahi sold the Bonny State for 6 billion. What are we going to do? Do he supposed to go and return that money back to Garoba Shehu, or do he supposed to keep the money? Finally, is on the issue of people who are coming up to campaign, who are running about campaigning.
Short. I have many people. Please don't take over everything. Just I think the 3 questions is okay.
What message do DOS have for our people at home who are listening for these people coming to lie on these campaign promises? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, and remain blessed. Thank you. Please, you have to make your questions more brief. Mazi, please, over to you. Can you hear me?
Mazi Jonathan, thank you so much for our brother that just threw his question right now. I want to clarify something. As na onye amụma anaghị ugwu ala nna ya, ọkụtụ esi ekwu ya.
Of course.
Yes, maybe now a Yoruba man have spoken. Now they start to believe him. But for 10 years, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been shouting on radio, calling people, telling our people to understand what is about to come. Now, today, after how many years, then people are saying they are looking up to DOS, what they want them to do. Number one, have you joined the struggle? Are you imbibed in the ideology for this struggle? Because if you have imbibed yourself with the ideology of what we are fighting for, where are you running to? Running to Togo? The war have not come, in full force. You are thinking Why not stand up and let us all join and fight for Biafra land? Why will you run? Run to where? The barber, the welder. These people are needed to fight this battle. If you are a welder, you are needed. You are a skilled worker. Why are you running? So I do not encourage people to run away from our land. We are going to fight this fight to make sure they don't take our land from us. Encouraging people to run away. The only people we have asked consistently are our brothers in the northern part of the contraction called Nigeria. That's the people we have for years. We mounted campaign. We asked them today. The state government are sending cars to bring their state indigents who are studying in uni jobs. The other day, Benue took their people, Abia State took. I think Imo State have sent to pick theirs today. Lagos have sent to pick theirs. And people are still in the north waiting. They're still waiting. They are seeing that the government have picked the students. They are picking them out. I mean, it is in the news. And somebody is saying, what are we to do? We get ourselves prepared. We must defend our land. We are not going to run for these people. Biafra land is where we were born. Biafra land is where they buried our umbilicals or placenta, they call it. And that land we must defend. People will say, they can imagine we are in exile and be able to go this far. Talk when we will be on ground. And that we will do soon. This fight, we will fight it to the end. They could not take this land in 1840s or 50s. It is not in this generation that we're able to conquer us. That is number one. Number two, you talk about the Supreme Court. Talking about sit at home. Sit at home. What does it have to talk about? Sit at home have happened. We have cases of sit at home that have happened not even before he come into power. IPOB have always successfully conduct many sit at home. So for him coming out to talk about the sit at home, he's a stupid man. He's a stupid man. Because he knows he can't challenge IPOB. And not from what he's saying. He knows if we say sit at home, Hope Uzodinma knows that he has no power in Biafra land. He's a Supreme Court governor, and we have seen it. And Biafra land, people say we remember somebody like him as being one of the most stupid and high-class slaves during this period. So for Hope, both of them are coming to talk. Who is he talking to? He's talking to himself. He gathered himself and talked. On our IPOB, is he trying IPOB? And finally, on the side of Dave Umahi. Dave Umahi is an evil man. Dave Umahi is the enemy of Biafrans. We need to understand this. Dave Umahi is the enemy of Biafrans. We know the heart of Dave Umahi. We are not speaking because of hearsay. We know IPOB leadership knows the heart of Dave Umahi. In many occasions, he has poured his heart to some people. He has told them his stand towards, the struggle for the restoration of Biafra, which he do not believe in. That is why you see him consistently doing his best to make sure that he hand over Ebonyi State over to the Fulanis. I'm going to say this, that some people may not like it, but it's a reality because we want to save our people. This is a reality. Because you don't come, you blame the DOS, but in the back, you sell the struggle to Dave Umahi. The 6 billion naira Dave Umahi collected, part of it was used in buying some people who feel they are in IPOB Some of them in Ebonyi State were all bought over. They sabotage the struggle. They know what I'm saying. They connive with Dave Umahi that they can sell the Biafra struggle. People will say, no, but it is a reality. If we want to move forward, we face this reality. Dave Umahi, if you see him on many occasions, he said, I am in charge of even IPOB in my state. They are under my control. He have used these words. It is everybody know that IPOB have successfully removed Fulani herdsmen in Ebonyi State, even to the extent that the Meyeti Allah came up and said, we are leaving Ebonyi State. They have killed us too much. They are surveying their life. And you want ESN to come to defend the land, and at the same time, some of you will sabotage the ESN. The ESN will come into the communities to drive Fulani herdsmen. Out of your greed and hatred, you will organize with the embargo to capture some ESN members because Dave Umahi gave you money. These are the realities. It's happening in Ebonyi State. These are the difficult things we are facing. And that is why you see Dave Umahi always, because he has successfully divided the state. He tried to draw them in the line of this is easy, this is Ipob, this is Eza, because he knows when he divides his people, he can be able to do what? Do whatever he wants. Can you imagine a boy, Oliver Thomas, one of IPOB member, he resided in Gocha. He wrote an article asking Dave Umahi to stop, you understand me, fueling the wars in Ebonyi State. Let him stop fueling the wars between he and Ipob and this. The boy wrote an article. They started to threaten him. The boy ran away from Lagos, from Iguacha to Lagos. Dave Umahi sponsored military people with DSS. They came to Lagos, picked this boy from Lagos. Since 20th April, we have been looking for the boy. It is fortunately, we found out a couple of days back, the boy is languishing in jail in Abakaliki prison. In Abakaliki prison, because people raise their voice on what is happening. So, what I'm saying this evening, it is time for us to stop being sentimental in this struggle for the restoration of Biafra. It is time that our people in the Ebonyi State will rise up and understand that the struggle for the restoration of Biafra is a struggle for everyone. It means freedom for everybody. If we cannot understand our common enemy, that the governors, some of the politicians, that they are the number one enemies, we are not going anywhere. Dave Umahi will continue to do this. Dave Umahi was able to go to collect the money because he knows the coast is clear. That is what he went to collect. If the coast was not clear, Dave Umahi would not go to collect the money. So what we are saying this evening, whether they like it or not, Dave Umahi like it or not, IPOB can never die. We are still formidable in the state. ESN have been drafted. ESN operatives have been drafted into Ebonyi State. This is a suicide mission in Ebonyi State in particular. ESN operatives have been drafted into Ebonyi State to make sure that Fulani herdsmen will never take over those lands in Ebonyi State. This is if he think he can bribe and he can be able to buy off some certain people in Ebonyi State, the kind of ESN operative drafted into Ebonyi State, he won't contend them. He must be ready. Our leader have said it, and that is where all of us stand, that no inch of Biafra land will be given to the Fulanis. Dave Umahi knows what he is doing. That is why he quickly made a press release from one of his small media and publicity telling us that I didn't collect the money. Are we kids? If he has collected any money for the Fulanis, he put it in his pocket because that money comes from Biafra land. And they keep away from the road. So for those, he must make sure he did not become a tool to minimize our land. Because if Dave Umahi, at this particular point, we have declared Dave Umahi as a full enemy of the people. And whatever we do, we can do to Dave Umahi to make sure that the Fulani bandits did not take over Biafra land, get part of any Ebonyi land. Ipob and ESN, we do that thing with all gladness. Thank you, Mazi. I think I have answered your 3 questions. I don't know if anyone I'm missing. Mazi Aban, my colleague is here. We are always, whatever I'm missing, I know he's going to point it out. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you, Mazi Abanyim. Over to you, please, because we are inching closer towards the end of the program. Please, Mazi Abanyim, go on.
Yes, thank you, Mazi Jonathan. Thank you, Mazi Nwuru, as well. You have answered extensively the questions that have been thrown to us here. The only piece you did not touch properly is about the hopes of Dema. That one is also dead man walking because nobody wrestled against God and win.
Vivevo la mia vita un quarto di miglio alla volta.
Your own people to foreigners, marauding terrorists who are coming with the intention of taking your land, and you have the audacity to betray your own people and become proud of that because you have opportunity to sit in the seat of power, and which power that the people did not give you the mandate, it was stolen, and so will it also be stolen back from you because nobody among those governors are going to be alive to tell this story when the time comes. Thank you, Master.
Thank you. I have a caller that has been here since more than 45 minutes on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, you're a patient man, please. The platform is yours. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Do not miss this opportunity because you have been here since 45 minutes over. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
Mazi Jonathan.
Yes, please go on. I've been talking to you. Please go on. Go on. Thank you for keeping on.
Okay. May God continue to bless all of you on the work you are doing for him. Mazi Jonathan, my suggestion today, I don't speak, me no speak English, please. Please, I'm begging all of you, because unu pushing on it, oku nde bekee too much, because unu na-eme this na-enye ndị iro anyị ịma ha na-ama ihe unu na-eme. Achị nwere ike ihe olunu na-eme wute ndị Igbo anyị, unu kwuo ya n'Igbo etu onwe unu chọrọ ka ụwa mara ha na-eme anyị, otu ha si na-egbuchi ndị anyị. Unu ekwuo ya n'okwu ndị obodo a, unu ekwuo ya n'okwu English, etu onwe ihe ime iji na-echekwa obodo anyị. Biko unu na-ekwu ihe anịnya okwu anyị, because ndị anyị na ha na-eme ihe ha na-asụ okwu, and onwe onye nụ olu ha, onwe onye na-anụ olu ha ihe ha mere. Ha na-asụ okwu ha nwee anyị nọ. Biko unu nwee ike nọ na-enwe just have
Ada ka m
anyị aka ha ka ha hara anyị nọ na-amụ ihe unu na-eme.
Ada, ị na-anụ ihe m na-ekwu? Nwa Ada, ị na-anụ ihe m na-ekwu? Ka m kwuke n'okwu obere.
Biko kwue.
Ị na-anụ ihe m na-ekwu? Ị na-anụ ihe m na-ekwu?
Ana m anụkwu ihe ị na-ekwu.
But ị na-anụ ya now, ị na-anụ ihe m na-ekwu now. M sị na-anụ ihe, ṅaa ntị ọfụma. You are calling from United Kingdom, yes. Yes. Just listen to me, because I want to take on part of the suggestions you made to let you know. Anything you speak on air, let me tell you one thing. Anything you say on okay. Ihe ọ na ị na-ekwu n'ikuku. Ihe ọ na ị na-ekwu n'ikuku ma ịsụrụ ya na Igbo, ma ịsụrụ ya na Chinese o, ka m gwa gị, ụwa anụgo ụwa teknọlọji enwere now, enwere ndị ọcha na-asụ Igbo. Ịmara na enwere Igbo na Google Translator even. So ihe ọ na-ekwu ihe ọwụ ozi secret ma ịsụrụ ya n'Igbo. Ihe ahụ ihe enwere ndị Fulani na-asụ Igbo, ndị iche na ọsọ ndị Igbo na-asụ Igbo. So ihe ọ na-apụtara, yes, ihe ọ na-apụtara n'ikuku ọwụ ozi secret. So ama ihe a na-ekwu ihe ma ịsụrụ ya n'oyibo ma ịsụrụ ya na Igbo, ofu ihe ahụ ka ọwụ. Ọkwa ịghọta ihe m na-ekwu? So ya ọdetide were ihe dị so secret anyị na-asụ, a na-ebupụ ihe a na-achọrọ ka ọ pụta to public. Ị bịa na-asụ Igbo sị ka ị na-ezo ihe ezo ma ị na-ekwu ya na redio.
Mazi Jonathan, ị nyere gị aka.
Okay.
Mazi Jonathan, ị nyere gị aka. Mazi Jonathan. Mazi Jonathan, ị nyere gị aka. Ndị oyibo, ka m kwuo n'Igbo, ndị oyibo na onwe ha arụpụtala app. Ọ bụ otu anyị na-ekwu okwu, ị na-ekwu ya n'English, ọ na-eme ihe interpret ozugbo. Ị na-ekwu ya n'Igbo, ọ na-atapụ ya n'English. Ị na-ekwu ya n'English, ọ na-atapụ ya n'Italian. So oge agafeela mgbe a na-eri ihe ekwuru ekwu. Ndị Igbo, onye nke nọ na Ọlụ the other day, ọ nọ na-asụ Igbo, alụọkwa nne ya na Njaba. Alụọ, is you understand me? Enweghị ihe anyị na-ekwu, enwezighị ihe nzuzo. Okay. Double as one so that they can be able to write certain things in their own language. That's just contribution on that.
There, I have a caller on Signal. Please, caller on Signal. The platform is yours. You have 3 minutes. Can you hear me? Caller on Signal. Can you hear me? Caller on Signal. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Master Jonathan.
Welcome to the program. Please go on. Go on. You have 3 minutes.
I want to them to the age of the natural me, Jibo, and Popo. And I'm an Ifeni and a him to the age of now. One question.
God, who now?
To Biafran did it now. Him to the age of now. Mother, you
don't want to introduce, so if I introduce you, it's supposed to be want to introduce, please.
Okay, I found a question from Odu Walande. Question from Odu Walande.
This agitation in the first place. So it's no more a new thing. Please listen. Please let us listen. This is what caused. This is what caused this. The had it been there is no marginalization. Had it been there is nothing like all this born to rule mentality or denying us of our rights and taking our lands, rubbish and everything. There wouldn't have been no agitation. And this thing you're saying, this is this is a collective effort. This is why our leader have been shouting. So it's not something new. This is what we know, and this is why we are doing this. It should be a collective effort from everybody in order to add up, to push away all these Maruedas from our land. Now take hold of our land and decide our fate and destiny. That is it, simple and short. It is a collective effort. It is not only for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been shouting. I have woken more than 18 since. Oh God, give me gun and bullet. Look at what is happening now. A general that is serving intelligence military because he's a Yoruba. Now we listen.
Nnamdi Kanu chukwu gọzie yo, onye amụma nke anyị yo. Ụwa zuru ike, sọgbuo ya n'ibere. Rocha sokoro tawo, sọgbuo ya n'ibere. Ụlọ Jonathan, sọgbuo ya n'ibere. Bilie human rights, sọgbuo ya n'ibere. Sọgbuo ekwesị n'ụkwụ n'elu ụwa. Egbu ya o, ebere o. Na Jesus Biafra Biafra. Na Chukwu abịa. Onye ọbụla si na Biafra ga-abịa. Ewo nwanne m. Nsogbu ya n'ebere. Ọya ka ije. Nsogbu. Nsogbu. Buhari.
Now we listen.
Nsogbu Sanusi. Nsogbu Tinubu. Nsogbu Hamechi. Nsogbu Rocha Sokrocha. Nsogbu Odinso Kanu. Nsogbu British. Nsogbu Fulani. Nsogbu Wazurike. Nsogbu Peluga. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers fighting for freedom. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are fighting for our motherland by the grace of Chukwuabiama. We shall conquer. We are soldiers fighting for our rights. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. We are soldiers of Biafra. In the name of Chukwuabiama, we shall conquer. Captain Manager, one go on the area. If I want more, I read to go.
As long as you have IPOB, even the code of conduct you have gone through, you will be disciplined. You can run, like our leader used to say, for a couple of days, the social media, after you come back. Most of us have been on suspension in this struggle, but nobody heard our voice. I, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have suspended me at a certain time in this struggle because the Middle East was not, there was delay in their monthly collection due. There were delays in sending them because there were a problem of sending money. Only suspended me. The HODs, not everybody can. He suspended me. He said until there is improvement on those things. It happened. Did anybody hear my voice? I went on suspension until things get better. So if you misbehave in IPO, you go against it, you become insubordinate, it doesn't matter what you will be suspended. If anything we have to do, and you go to the length of you try to sabotage on ground, you try to sabotage these things you're doing, you will be disciplined. There is no room for unnecessary. Some people can talk when you are not under IPOB. Automatically, we don't have anything to. We can only talk to those who belongs to IPOB. But if you feel you are not on IPOB, you are encroaching on our own territory. You're encroaching on our own sovereign, trying to attack us. You want to become a Wazirike, or you want to become Bilie, or those people, or those Parimata around Loa and You come to attack us. You think you have got a platform. I'm telling you, you will get it also back from us. Because they said the best way to defend yourself is to attack.
Thank you. I don't know whether Mazi Agbanim have to say something before I take this caller on direct line. Caller on direct line, can you hear me? You have been calling. Caller on direct line, can you hear me? Yes, go on. Mazi, go on. You are on A. Caller on direct line, go on.
In the name of we shall conquer. We are soldiers, soldiers of Biafra. In the name of we shall conquer. We are soldiers, soldiers of Biafra. In the name of we shall conquer. We are not in our motherland. In the name of we shall conquer. We are soldiers, soldiers of Biafra. In the name of we shall conquer. The land of the wild belongs to our fathers. In the name of we shall take it by force. I say we are soldiers, soldiers of Biafra. In the name of we shall conquer. I say hallelujah, hallelujah.
If you don't release our leader, whatever people do, we will take it. Fulani, if you people are not afraid of Tukoti, then this message we send a direct one in all of you. Terrorists. You want to come and take part of
Mazi, are you still there? Caller on WhatsApp, you'll be the last caller, please. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Well,
I'm here to question. I'm coming from Istanbul, Turkey. Thank God, is there. I have some questions to ask him. Am I permitted? The question that I'm asking you is why Istanbul is not safe. And we also had, I want to get that ask Turkey not to protest unless we pay our money dues for 5 months ago. And Jonathan, I used to ask you this question. Is there anywhere in the IPOB law that any people, any I have another question, and I have another question. And Mazi Nnamdi is working with the Nigeria community, and both the Nigeria community and the Nigeria embassy are controlling IPOB in Turkey. We don't want national coordinators. They have been in top our national coordinator for 9 years. They have not even achieved anything. All of them should resign. Let's have another executive in Turkey. Turkey doesn't have national executive. Is controlled by Nigeria community, Nigeria embassy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our word of peace. Brother is his friend. he knows about it. That's the only.
Can you hear him? Do you hear him?
Hey, Mazi, can you come again with his questions? Because the network was free.
About Turkey.
Yes.
Calling from Turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey.
I'm waiting for the answer.
Yes.
Turkey suspended from. Turkey couldn't hold protests because of monthly dues or something like that. Is there problems in Turkey? You know, in general.
No.
Problems in Turkey.
No, Mazi, that is not the case. I would not like to go in details in this issue, but you know, our people sometimes they try to be insubordinate. You understand me? I think I have had a meeting with Turkey's executive. I don't know his name, if he was part of the people and all the people, but I had a meeting with them couple of I think it's not up to 10 days, or if it is, I'm not sure. We have discussed about this and discuss it extensively. When people feel not comfortable, especially, we look at things from all angles. He's talking about the coordinator. I'm not the one who appointed the coordinator. He's coming here to talk about the coordinator. Something happening in Turkey, and I asked them, go and sort this thing out. You can come up, you can even pick up a date for a protest, but go and sort a particular issue out. There are security issues, there are administrative issues, and I have told them sort it out. But if you don't want to sort it out, you think you can come on the radio and you come to talk, Mazi Nnamdi know this. I'm not. I think Ezen Naya is a coordinator in Turkey before I became a coordinator in Kuwait. So coming here to talk those kind of rubbish shows that what the insinuation that even people have against you people is true. Because you cannot tell me that when our leader was arrested, there are publications from Turkey labeling our leader a terrorist and a Christian. I don't want to go deep into that. And we look at things from different angles in order for security reasons and the place the protest will take place. And also we talk about if you are the person in charge of a zone and for some time you decided out of insubordination, what we are saying here, out of insubordination, you don't want to listen to the leadership, what they are doing, and they ask you, and I gave the month end, this subject is talking now, I gave them this month end to resolve those things so that there will be no problem going on in Turkey. I have reported it to the HOD about this subject, and I think it is an IPOB in-house issue and not to be discussed even in public. But I try to just give it a little touch so that it doesn't look like as if I don't want to talk about it. But what I'm saying is this, I gave them this month end. I told them sort those things out for him to come up. I am not somebody people can blackmail, my brother. You cannot come on Radio Biafra to
We are soldiers from the rising sun in the name of Biafra. We shall conquer. We are soldiers.
You cannot come on Radio Biafra Tv.
We are fearless and stay. We are soldiers. We shall conquer.
Radio Biafra Tv. Oh, Biafra, you are the uno. You are the one, you Nani Chorobudayo. Anambarate, you are the uno. You are the uno. You are the you cannot come on Radio Biafra Tv. Biafra is my home. Ebeka unusi Biafra. Ebeka unusi Biafra. Gaimara po Biafra. Gawe boso gabiri. Gaimara po Biafra. Gawe boso gabiri. Biafra is my home. In this platform, we are calling all the indigenous people of Biafra to come back home. Let us defend and build our motherland, the land of the rising sun, and stop developing other people's land while our land has been taken by our enemies. For Biafra land is the kingdom of God on earth, and we must fight with the last drop of our blood to restore this great nation, the land of the rising sun. All hail Biafra! All hail indigenous people of Biafra! You cannot come on Radio Biafra, the land of the rising sun. Biafra must be restored. Biafra must live. And Biafra must survive. By the name of Chukwu Biafra. Ebeka unusi Biafra. Ebeka unusi Biafra. Gaimara po Biafra. Gawe boso gabiri. Gaimara po Biafra. Gawe boso gabiri. Biafra is my home. They say the river cannot flow through the forest without bringing down trees. Biafra. For many years, we have been holding our arms, hoping that Biafra will come in a platter of big and honeycomb dialogue. What did we get in return? They kill our brothers, they rape our women, they behead our children, they bomb our churches when we go to worship to Biafra. No. Enough is enough. We can't take this anymore. We must fight to defend our land. The Biafra we love. For he who wants peace must be ready for war. Ebeka unusi Biafra. Ebeka. Not come on Radio Biafra. Biafra gaimara po Biafra gawe boso gabiri. Gaimara po Biafra gawe boso gabiri. Biafra is my home. My people of Biafra, I'm laughing at you. Are we not ashamed of worship less in a foreign land just to make a living? Are we not tired of marrying our mother's pets just to have citizenship in a foreign land? Are we not tired of running from police and immigration, jumping condominium, rotting in jail? Ebeka unusi Biafra. Ebeka unusi Biafra. Gaimara po Biafra. Gawe boso gabiri. Gaimara po Biafra. Gawe boso gabiri. Biafra is my home. Enyimba, 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 nzobu, enyimba, nzobu, enyimba, nzobu, enyimba, ike wachukwu, enyimba, nzobu, enyimba, enyimba.
For you
name upon me. Breathe. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Your name, is your name. Breathe, Lord. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Oh, breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Your name will is your name. Breathe, Lord. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Just breathe your name.